guys, Paul McLean here. Welcome to the Monday Morning Wake Up Podcast. And I'm telling you guys, I've said it every single week and I mean it. My desire is to bring you as much value as I possibly can to really start your week in the right direction, give you some healthy reminders and also some really good insights that maybe you're unaware of and the awareness is heightened. So today, guys, I've got a Hall of Fame producer. This is by the way, the classroom edition. Typically, we're on a stage, but I wanted to get it in the studio. I wanted to feel all the energy right here. And so we're doing it in the studio, and I got my buddy Rob Kakish on. Rob, how you doing, man?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
Good to have you on board,
Absolutely.
bro. Well, I'll tell you guys this much, man. Like, I've gotten a chance to know Rob really well over the last couple of years, dude. And I guess year and a half, right?
Correct.
And Rob is a Hall of Fame producer. So when he came on board at Family First Life, he hit the ground running. Mm-hmm. And I remember you coming out, early on. You came and spoke at a conference here at the office, the Apple Valley location. Mm-hmm. And dude, it was so good, man. You just talked about your work ethic. How you were flying around, you were doing travel trips. You talked about your travel trips, and you broke all that down, and you had it down quickly. And then you transitioned this last year, and you went to Telesales.
Correct.
Going to be a Hall of Fame producer in that arena. And so, guys, somebody that really adapts well, adjusts well, and then goes out there and excels at whatever he puts his mind to. And I do believe that's essential to building a massive business, is being able to go out there and put your blinders on, 100% focus, submerge yourself, learn the craft, take massive action, adjust along the way, and really kind of perfect that. And then, though, when someone else comes on, being able to adjust is a big deal. The people that don't adjust typically die.
Correct.
And you've adjusted and you've added that to it as well. And guys, let me just tell you this. Somebody also that's got a heart that wants to see you win, because I think you could feel it, right? Like, I know you guys are having a one-on-one conversation with Rob right now. I got the pleasure and benefit to do that right now. And the goal is to be able to extract some great stuff so he can give it to you, which he always does. But he's got a heart to serve and help. Like, he's worked with different agents in the organization and just helps them improve and get better. There's many times I'll have an agent say, man, I plugged into Rob's office and I was helping families at this level, and now I'm helping families at this level. And he does it just to serve and help. So I guarantee today you're going to feel it as we go through these questions, the fact that he does have a heart for you to go out there and get better and make this your best week yet. And so, Rob, I really want to, kind of start with going through, really some practical things. I think, and then we're going to get into some mindset stuff. We're going to get into like the 3 secrets of selling, and we're going to kind of unpack that.
Cool.
But I know that most agents right now, they're wondering a couple things. Like, what's Rob's lead strategy? What does he invest? And I'm going to go through, there's a couple quick questions to go through that they're going to be wondering. So let's start there, man. Lead strategy, what do you invest? What does that look like?
Lead strategy, if we're talking internet leads, which is the majority of agents, that's what you can get access to. It's definitely the 1 and 3 month old leads. Everybody has that access on the ILC Integrity Lead Center CRM. So 1 and 3 month olds. Then I'll always buy about 100 age leads, where you can find on ageleadstore.com. I substitute another 100 in there, because if you could get 1 or 2 out of 100, you're good. So 1 month old, 3 months old, real-time campaign on the ILC CRM has been hidden wonderfully for some of my new agents as well. But at the end of the day, I've spent tens of thousands of dollars on leads, and an internet lead is an internet lead. So don't get too caught up in that, I promise. So 1 month old and 3 month old.
What if there's somebody that's like, man, I've heard that whole like a lead's a lead, and like that's bull crap. Like, what do you say to the person that says that?
What I say to the person is, you're not doing enough work then, because you'd be able to be empathetic with what we're saying on that. A lead is a lead. It's supposed to lead you to a sale, and your self-development, your ability to communicate to the lead and that person on the other end is supposed to get you warmer. Right. Yeah. So it's on you, on the self-development, you practicing. So your ability to communicate to that client, which is what the lead is supposed to do, and raise their certainty level.
Yeah, I agree, dude. I think that a lead is not a sell. That's where people can mess it up, right? Their expectations off. And I do believe, like you said, Rob, if somebody's on here and they're not getting the results they want to get from the leads, the first thing I look at is, do you have enough people to call?
Correct.
Because, man, if I said, dude, you have to book 4 appointments if you want to hit your goal in the next 2 hours, right? And you've only got 6 leads.
Good luck.
Like, dude, that one person that says, I'm not interested. And they hang up. Dude, you're so emotional. You're like, oh my God, these next 5, I better be able to get it, right? But if you've got 100 of them, you don't care. It's almost this thought process of like, man, dude, that's kind of weird. I don't know what your deal is, but I'm gonna call the next time. And maybe you're off day, but hopefully you don't die tomorrow, man.
Yeah.
Like this is hurting you, not hurting me, and you get the right perspective. But I think to the other point of that is it's a mindset thing as well, like you said. Like I think an agent can go start making dials. They get a couple objections, or they don't get a result that they want in the first sequence of dials, and now they come to this conclusion like this lead is this way.
Correct.
And now they go call the rest of the leads, trying to find evidence to support this verdict that they've come to, that this lead is this type. And it's kind of like, you guys have heard this, right? Like you cannot value something above the label you give it.
Agreed.
If I say, Rob, you suck. Like, dude, I'm never going to treat you in such a way it's going to bring out the best in you, right? So I was thinking it's funny when the parents are like, little Billy's a freaking brat. And I'm like, well, dude, like he's just doing what he's just living up to the name you've given him, But you also do the same thing with leads. So for all of you on here that said an internet lead is this, or a mortgage lead is this, or a final expense lead is this, you're not going to be able to value and get the value extracted from that above what you just gave it. And so that's why when Rob says a lead's a lead, and I say the same thing, do I think every lead's got the same value? No, I think if I got a batch of brand new mortgage leads and then a batch of brand new internet, and they're the same quantity, I'm going to get a better result off the higher cost lead, right? But the reality is they're all a family.
Correct.
And that allows me to perform at a higher level no matter what the situation is. And so for all of you out here, I would just say check yourself. If you're saying a lead is this, you're wrong, because you've worked every lead type.
Yep.
I've worked every lead type, and I've gotten results off every single lead type. Hey, what's the worst lead you've ever worked as far as like the verbiage or like how the lead was set up? I don't know if you've only
worked. I have wrong address and wrong name. Just the phone number was the same.
Okay.
But you know what? That is still somebody to contact. So if you can actually get to the point where that is how you're thinking, you'll be fine. You'll be just fine. You're gonna win. Dude,
we had, me and Andrew used to work these. It was at the other company, and they were called. It was their final expense lead. Dude, it said Social Security free benefits. You can increase your Social Security benefits when you die of up to $2,500. That was it. It didn't say anything about life insurance, and it said free all over it. And then with mail, you can target certain like demographics and put filters on like income. So these vendors, like the lower the quality of the lead is, like the verbiage, the lower the cost because a higher return rate.
Got it.
Right? Think about it. Client
get another
gets
$2,500.
Yeah, client gets it. They're like, oh, this is free Social Security. I'm going to send this in. So you get a lot more quantity, which means that. And so, dude, we would call those, and every call I got was like, I thought this was free, but that's what we had to work at the time. This was a company that didn't give us the availability where they had all these vendors and said, you guys pick them out. It was like through their platform, you only could go there. This is it. And, dude, I went out and I helped 20, 30 families a month, every month working those. I just did a lot more door knocks because if I was face-to-face, it was harder to hang up on me. And I didn't skip a beat because they still needed life insurance, even though it was like very much a bait switch because they're like, I got it. They said they thought it was free. I'm like, I understand. I get it.
You don't qualify for that one.
I understand exactly. Yeah, you just flip it around, man, and figure out a way to serve the client. Yeah, dude. In fact, I had one too, Rob, that I knocked on the door, and I get in, and I'm going through the presentation, and like 10 minutes in, he's like, I don't know who Juan is. And I'm like, I thought you were Juan. Because, dude, he answered the door, and I was assuming I was something like, Juan, hey, man, here for an appointment, shoes on, shoes off. And he let me in his house, Dude, come to find out, I was at the next door neighbor's house.
Oh, my God.
I was at the wrong, honest to God, true story. And I still sold him a policy. You know what I mean?
You're in momentum.
Like, dude, do you have any, like, crazy stories like that, dude?
Absolutely. I remember when I was taking a lot of travel trips, this happened several times because I made it a point, especially if I have a little bit of time in between appointments, sell one client, and usually I'd knock the neighboring door. And I can literally tell you if they were home, I could literally point to the neighbor and let them know I just finished up with Mrs. Smith. Did you have about 5 or 10 minutes? That works all the time, too.
Dude, that's huge.
Yeah. But it's really just actually, getting creative. With the license that we have, and especially with the platform like FFL, you can be so creative in ways that we don't even talk about too, which is a beautiful thing.
I love that, bro. I remember hearing this phrase that it was taught to me early on, and it really resonated and really kind of helped, I guess, give me some wisdom in how to move throughout building a business. And the concept was like walk through the hall slowly. Yep. Like meaning that be aware of, as you walk through the halls, like, who needs to have a conversation, who needs an encouragement, who needs to be empowered. Just be observant, be aware. And I think it's the same thing with your business. You kind of slow down and say, like, what am I leaving on the table here? What can I do to increase profitability? Because, like, Rob, if you did that every travel trip, like, how many additional sales do you think you made each week doing that, or a month?
Oh, a month, I can add another 5.
So 5.
And that's not even me committing. Imagine if it worked on every single time.
You might be busy, so you don't do it. You got to go to the next client's house. You don't have enough time in your schedule. Guys, think about the profitability. Like that there alone.
Massive.
Is a massive, massive tip, right? You got 5 families. If the average client's paying $100 a month, that's $1,200 a year. If you're at 100% commission, after advances on that, dude, that's like $800 times 5. That's like $4,000 plus in profit, because it didn't cost you any more money to go out there and do that. That's a big, big deal, dude.
Huge.
Anything else that's like something like that you've done?
Other than that, we're sticking to the script and riding the wave.
Okay.
So it's a good thing.
All right. So I know somebody else is wondering too, like, what's your schedule? Like, what does a schedule look like for you?
So as of right now, 8 to 12. Well, actually 8. So this is what I recommend to my new agents, and then what I do myself, right? Because we are trying to spend time to really get this agency going. We did 400 families last month. So my schedule had to shift a little bit. But agents, this is what I tell them. In the morning, you want to have at least 5-minute sessions of 50 minutes of non-stop dialing. Okay, so race it to 50 minutes. And then after that 50 minutes, you can have what Brandon Burchard and Tony Robbins calls a strategic reset. So you stop, stretch it out, grab yourself a Gatorade, whatever the case is, and then come back to dialing and committing to another 50 minutes of non-stop dialing as well. So 50 minutes, take yourself a 5-10 minute break, strategic reset, get back another 50 minutes. You're going to do that in the morning. Then you're going to do the same thing in the evening, around 4 to 8. Be cognizant of what state you're dialing as well, right? Because time change. So from 4 to 8, you're going to do that exact same thing, 50 minutes of non-stop dialing, strategic reset, get back on the phones. And you should tell yourself every 50 minutes you should have at least 1 appointment, right? So that session should give you 8 appointments that day.
Dude, I love that. Now, are you doing one-call closes, like booking an appointment to get back on the phone the next day? Or are you trying to close them right then and there?
If the opportunity is there, majority of the time, I am trying to close them right then and there.
Okay.
Right. If they can give me a little bit of time on the phone, I'm asking, is this their cell phone number? Then from there, I'm sending them immediately my digital card, business card that has my national producer number on it, my face, etc., all the carriers that we work with to validate, and then I'll continue moving on forward. But I do not move forward unless they have that, and that's where I let them know you can find me on your local and state government websites. Hey,
do you think that one of the biggest struggles an agent has is just keeping their attention on the task at hand? That's the income producing task. And I agree. And I think that, dude, that's probably one of the best tips I've ever heard. Like that 50 minutes of nonstop, full focus.
Correct.
Where you don't get distracted, because it's easy to say dial from 8 to 12. But dude, I wonder how many people on here, you've got that in your schedule, but you're getting up, you're kind of walking around. You know, you might, when I worked at my house, I remember walking in and my wife's got something going on. Hey, what about this? Or, hey, can you do this? And it's like, sure. And that's 5 minutes. And I think we lose, and I know that I've done this many times, like we lose the value of absolute intentional focus. You know what I mean? Like, it's like if you walk outside and the sun's hitting you, you might get a sunburn after an hour.
Yep.
But, dude, if I put a magnifying glass in your kneecap, you're about to have a hole in your knee in like 45 seconds, bro. So, like, that's the power of really intentional focus. And I'm telling you, it's like putting yourself in a space where you can be in the zone, and when shots that normally don't go in, they start going in.
Correct.
And that's where you have to have that 50 minutes of undistracted time.
Have to.
Because if you don't, dude, like you're going back and forth, you're never going to be in the zone.
Correct.
And you're never going to get the results that being in the zone produce. And so I love that, man. We used to do like 90-day madman cycles. So we'd say, like, listen, for 90 days with recruiting and building, it's a blitz, right? Like, it's a marathon. Like, this business and building a business, it's a marathon. It ain't a short race.
It is.
But if you can have in those short bursts along the way, you're going to be able to grow a lot faster through that. And so it was like, hey, 90 days, 100%, nonstop, full effort, all-out blitz to recruit. And then we take like a 4-day break, go recharge, pause, reflect, adjust, and then get back at it. And I think that there's a lot of power in those small, sudden bursts of intentional focus. That's a powerful point. It
compounds, absolutely.
Powerful point, dude. Anything else regarding like schedule that you believe is like crucial and important for you and the team?
We'll make sure you have your leads, of course. Crucial for the team. We're on live dials as well. So we started getting serious about these live Zoom dials as well, right? And I do my best to be on there as much as I can because there's coaching the entire time. So especially if you're new, I would definitely get on some live dials, plug into an office near you. Anybody in the Rancho Cucamonga, Ontario area, my office is invited. Of course, you guys can always come. But I think it's having structured, staying scheduled, and being cognizant and reminding yourself, when you're in those 50 minutes, that's that time to get results and, to really move forward is those 50 minutes. After that, you can reward yourself with this 7-8 minute break, but you got to get back to that 50 minutes.
I love that, man. And I think when you have something to look forward to, it's easier
Correct.
to stay disciplined in that, like that consequence mindset.
Agreed.
Dude, I remember, think about how funny this is, dude. Like, I mean, we grew up, and we never went out to dinner when I was a kid, ever, because it cost money. Mm-hmm. And we didn't have any. So we never went out to dinner. And so when I got in the business, I was like, babe, if we hit my goal, and we all knew the goal, I talked to my wife about it. Like, it was to go out there and help, like, at the time it was 5 families a week. This is brand new in the business, man, back in 2007.
Amazing.
And I said, if I hit my goal, Sunday after church, baby, we're going to Applebee's. We're going to go to Applebee's.
2 for $25.
And I'm telling you, man, like that. Sometimes when I was like caught in this spot of making a decision to go to here or go here, like, do I go to the appointment or do I not? Or do I make that extra last like 24 phone calls before I wrap up the day? Mm-hmm. Do I go do that door knock? When I was caught in that temptation to make the wrong choice, because we have full choice and ability to make our choice. I'm not kidding, dude. Like, going to Applebee's was doing it for me, bro. Yeah. I was like, I don't want to miss my goal because on Sunday.
Yep.
And now the thing is this: I've done that all the way through my career in different. It's changed. You know what I mean? It's adjusted. Like, if I hit this goal for the next 30 days, and we'll take a 2-day trip and go to the Ritz-Carlton Laguna, like it's adjusted and changed. But that's always kind of helped me stay focused for a period of time to have something to look forward to. Yeah. And I think that's exactly what you're doing, but you're doing it throughout the entire day so they get some small victories.
Correct.
Now a victory is not I booked 22 appointments, is I was disciplined for 50 minutes straight. And now I can go either read a couple pages in a book to refresh my mind, listen to podcasts, get up and stretch, whatever it is. I think that might be one of the most powerful tips that we've had here, man.
It's worked.
That's powerful, man. Systems. Any systems that you're using?
Systems. First thing would be once again, everybody on an Excel sheet has to know what their lead budget is. Okay, their expenses, personal expenses and business expenses, and the systems would be how many dials, how many talks from those talks, how many appointments from those appointments, how many sold, right? Because you kind of want to find the CPA of how many leads, what was all the data that went into it to get a sale, right? Cost per acquisition. So that's a big thing that all my people have been implementing actually for the last month. So we want to see what the numbers are. What are you doing? How many dials are there? How many leads? Do we need quality or quantity? So that's a thing that I started with all of my agents, and it's been helping. We got 7 new writers last week. And then Ringy. Okay, so this has been a big deal for us as well. It's a CRM where you're able to call anybody across the country. It's $1 for a new area code, for any type of local area code. On top of that, it sends mass text messages out. So everybody on here, if you guys can have some type of mass text messaging thing, thousands of leads that you haven't answered a year ago, if you send this text message, it will go ahead and re-nurture all of those leads. So if everybody in FFL did this, we'd have some crazy numbers next month.
No doubt,
as well.
dude.
So it's called Ringy, and you're able to touch tens of thousands of people on a click of a button.
I love that. So you have this message. What does the text message say that you send out?
So if it depends, obviously, what type of lead it is, but if it's a 1 or 3 month old lead, which is what I tell my guys to focus on, it would be, hey, this is Robert calling from the state from San Bernardino County in regards to your final expense that you interested in a couple months ago. It seems that your file wasn't closed out. Did you have 5 or 10 minutes right now to talk, or would you like to book an appointment? And give them a Google Calendar link.
I love that, dude.
Yeah, and then it continues to drip on them every 2 to 3 to 4 days. They'll consistently get a drip until they opt out or until you get a response. So let's say you have 2,000-3,000 leads that are sitting right now. If you were able to capture 1 or 2%, what would that do for your bottom line?
Dude, it's massive. Mm-hmm. It's absolutely massive.
It's getting creative. So
yeah,
it's phone calls and text messages. It's ammunition on both ends.
Do you think some agents will do that and they'll have the same amount of appointments booked because instead of making the same amount of phone calls, they reduce the phone calls and they just let the text messages fill in the rest? What do you say to an agent that's like, why does somebody do that? What's the mindset or like that self-limiting lid that's been put on to do something like that?
To do something like that? Well, the first thing is, because we talked about this, it doesn't mean you make less phone calls, right? This is supposed to compound and make that
it's like a performance-enhancing drug.
Correct. Right? Some TRT. So it's a performance-enhancing drug. It's supposed to make you excel even more than what you wanted to do. So the dialing should always be as what we talk about, right? This is supposed to be another tool to assist with all that, to capture what wasn't captured, to touch the people who didn't answer their phone, the people who don't want to answer a call that they don't know. Reading this text message, it should be a double whammy. So never back down from the phones. The phones are the gateway to business.
I love that. Well, I think anytime you hear something that's a tip, it's supposed to highlight and take it to the next level.
Correct.
And I say that because I've had agents that they'll hear something new and they'll just reduce what they were doing that was working to kind of keep their income the exact same.
Don't make it an excuse.
And it's almost like the same thing when you look at that financial blueprint. A lot of people in their mind think like, I'm just used to, and I believe that I'm worth $100,000 a year, right? Mm-hmm. And no matter what they do, if they have a massive year or a massive month, they'll find a way to get rid of it to stay in the same level of income that they're always used to, right?
Agreed.
And it's the same thing with this business. If you find that you're adding things in your business, but your personal sales are not increasing, my question is, what level or what game plan do you have in place to develop yourself personally? Because a lot of times self-sabotaging behaviors will take a great concept and cause you to be in the same spot because you'll reduce it in some other areas. This right here is absolutely pure profit. I mean, do this right now. So if anybody's on here like, what can I practically take? And that's always my deal, is I don't want this to be just a podcast that inspires, man. I want it to be a podcast that impacts. And impact is only going to be accomplished through action after this is done.
100%.
And so this is an actionable step you could take. Get Ringy, send out these text messages, and if you get one more sell a week, guys, that's
times that by
massive.
4 weeks. Yeah.
I mean, that's massive. I mean, as far as the profitability, no additional expense, pure profit. Absolutely love it. Another phenomenal tip. Any other systems that you have in place that's made a difference when it comes to your personal production and the growth?
The growth of the agency part, of course, is me not being scared to spend money, to really put money into recruiters, and just like you said, more systems as well. But on the personal production, it's making sure you buy the leads, reinvesting, paying yourself first, and then reinvesting in the leads, staying with that 50-minute strategic reset, not moving from that, depending obviously if you're going to be doing telesales or in the field. But at the end of the day, it's back to the basics with new age stuff. So back to the basics, but being creative about those basics, because the fundamentals always work.
They do.
But it's us adding these little things on top of the basics that make the return worth it. So
yeah, I love it. One of the basics that we just got back to was just talking to clients about the opportunity. Mm-hmm. You know, like we got completely away from it. And there's some big groups we've got in the organization that they came from, you know, a conversation with a client, and that client gets their license. Like Teresa Prendota, dude, she was a client.
Wow.
And she ended up becoming a Hall of Fame producer and a VP. And but the agent just talked to her about the Family First Life opportunity, and it wasn't even the right time in that moment. She's like, I just moved here from New York. I got a job in in the restaurant business. She had a higher level management position, and then that same week, dude, she goes out and pulls her back, moving some machines and stuff. And she's like, I can't do this anymore. Calls back the agent. Wow. She gets her license. And the next year, she's a Hall of Fame producer, man. You just never know. And we did the same thing. We looked at the numbers. We said, how many agents do you have on your team? How many clients are they sitting with or talking to every week? And if the average agent's talking or sitting with 20 families, and you have 10 agents, that's 200. Mm-hmm. What if just 1% of those 200 families a week were interested or knew somebody interested? That's 2 more people a week if it's just 1%.
Yeah.
Just 1%. And guess who believes a lot in what this product does? The dang clients. They sent in the form. They get the whole process. You want to talk about being an assistant buyer and wearing just the same shoes that you're wearing? Man, I've been in your shoes, bro. I filled out the form. And so, and that conversation's easy to have. It's just, hey, Rob, listen, man, was this pretty difficult what I just did to help you guys? No, it was pretty easy. Man, listen, we're really overwhelmed. Like I told you when we spoke, it was hard for me to even get this scheduled because we're so short-handed with people, with agents to serve these families. We're looking for some really good people. You got to get a state license, but we'll help sponsor them if it's a good fit through the interview process. We got the training, everything in place. And every time you go out there and help a family based off the average commission, what they pay, that might bring in, if they're paying $80 a month, $1,000 a year, if you're at just an 80% commission with advancements, $500 a pop to help a client. Do you know anybody or who do you know that'd be interested in that? And man, I'm telling you that you'll get them nudging themselves like,
yeah, me.
Yeah, mm-hmm. Me. I think I could do that on the side of you. I've been looking for something. And 40% of Americans have a side hustle. Yeah. But it's just doing it. And so if you guys can add those 2 habits into your schedule and your routines this week,
things will change.
Profitability is around the corner for you, man.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Well, dude, let's do this. Love to do a quick role play with you.
Sure.
So mainly telesales now, right? Mm-hmm. So you say a ring ring, I'll say hello, and we'll go through kind of a role play of the telesales process and what it looks like.
Sure. Ring ring.
Hello, this is Paul.
Paul?
Yes, Paul.
How you doing, Paul? This is Rob. I'm one of the managers here in San Bernardino County. I see that my guys did drop the ball. That your case looks open still. Are you still at 123 Main Street?
Yeah.
Yeah. So many times what ends up happening, what is this about? Just for the state regulated life insurance that you were calling about, our guys did drop the ball on it. It shows that your case is still open. Did you have about 5 or 10 minutes to go over that, sir, right now? So what usually happens at that point is when I say I'm the manager in the area, that opens up the door for their complaints. Uh-huh. So at that point, yeah, you guys keep calling me. So I completely understand that's the reasoning for my call. Or I'm not interested anymore. I completely understand that's the reasoning for my call. Is it because you've been getting too many calls or because it's too expensive? Yeah, I've been getting too many calls. That's the whole reasoning for that. I completely understand. And that's why I have your file at this point. You're going to continue to get those calls, sir. It takes about 5 or 10 minutes. Did you have that right now, or should we do something this evening? How long is it really going to take?
I got to say something right now.
And then I get into it right there.
Guys, the relating to everything, that's a ticket. So everybody on here, if you could relate, the way I look at it, it's like if you could relate, then you can navigate. Correct. I can relate, connect with you, and now I can navigate you down the path I need to take you down. And my thought process is to get you on board with buying the appointment or buying the product, but I got to relate to navigate. Everything you said was perfect. Understand 100%. And you go back right to
every time
the controlled question and guide him and lead him. So anyways, I'll give it back to you. But dude, I'm telling you, that's another thing to help everybody on here. Ask yourself this week, how good am I doing with relating? Check yourself. When you get an objection or something like that this week, at the end of you hanging up, ask yourself, go back and really reflect and say, did I relate or was I kind of combative? Was I trying to to like communicate my stance and why, opposed to just letting them be right, relating with them, and then navigating to where you wanted to go. That's such a big deal.
Yeah, never, the first rule of thumb, never be combative. Absolutely not. You're going to turn the client off. So every time there's a rebuttal or something like that, first thing is empathetic with the client, right? So we're going to agree with the client. After that, we are going to answer their question and then always get back to script, always get back to the close. So acknowledge, answer their question, and get back to script. Every
I love
time.
it. All right, jump right back into it.
So yeah, that is really my script every time. Chris Chavez, who we're going to be talking to, does 25-30 families, same way. I'm actually the manager in the area.
I got 5 minutes.
Yep, I got, did you have about, oh yeah, you have 5 minutes. Perfect, sir. So is this your cell phone number right here at 909-99999?
It is.
Perfect. So I'm going to go and send you a message, sir. It's going to have my national producer number where you can find me on your local state and government websites. Let me know when you get that, please.
Okay, got it.
Perfect. So you can see right there, that's my big head, okay? That's what my sisters used to tell me.
Nice.
Nonetheless, sir, the process is very easy. It's a quick minute of health assessment questions. From there, I'll be able to shop all the programs in the nation to find out what's most cost effective for you, because that matters. At that moment, we'll go ahead and submit an enrollment packet. That takes about a day or two for an approval, and hopefully we never have to worry about that again. Is this fair?
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good, sir. So God forbid if anything ever did happen to you, or when it does, who's going to be the person to take care of everything and be running around?
I'd be my wife.
It'll be your wife?
Yeah.
Okay, sir. And what's your wife's name?
Natasha.
Got it. All right, sir. So God forbid anything ever happens to Natasha, who would be the next person up?
I'd probably be my mother-in-law.
Mother-in-law, what's her name?
Gina.
Got it. All right, Paul, on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the healthiest, sir, how healthy would you say you are?
I would think like 5.
About a 5?
Yeah.
Okay, so no medications, nothing like
No,
that.
no.
Beautiful. Makes my job a lot easier. Sounds good. Are you currently working?
Yes.
Okay, sounds good. And what is your income, Paul? What's your current income right now?
That's like $80,000 a year.
Okay, $80,000 a year. Got it. And are you currently renting or owning, Paul?
Own.
Okay.
Yep.
And how much is that mortgage a month?
I want to say it's like maybe $1,900 a month.
$1,900 a month. Gotcha. All right, sir. Any children?
Yes.
You got a 1, 2, 3, 7?
Just one.
Just one? Gotcha. God bless. Love it. All right. So, sir, the main thing is obviously affordability, okay? So where would you say your range is? $69 to $89, $90 to $109, around $150? What do you feel comfortable with? Because we can always tweak and adjust later.
I would say probably 150.
150?
Yeah.
Got it. Let me see. So, all right, sir. So I'm just putting this information in the toolkit. It's going to shop all the programs, and then I'll go ahead and give us a couple options. Cool?
Yep.
All right. Beautiful. All right, so this policy right here, sir, it does go into effect right away. Okay, so after you make your first premium payment, the policy actually goes into effect. God forbid any type of terminal illness happens to you, there's thousands and thousands of dollars that you'll be able to access to go out of network and get a different type of treatment, handle last minute affairs, go on a last vacation, etc. All right. Plus, if anything accidental happens, you'll get an additional 25% of that face amount. So let's say it's $100,000, Paul.
Yep.
You're going to get $125,000.
Okay, perfect.
All right. So you can call this the Mercedes-Benz of insurance policies. All right. So, sir, I have that 132, 148, and the 168 option. Okay. I know you have to be around
maybe 168 probably be good.
168. All right, sir. So that's going to get you $220,000. So right now, what we'll do, it takes about 4 minutes. We'll submit an enrollment packet, and hopefully we get that approval, and you'll never have to worry about that again. Cool?
Sounds good.
All right. And then I just go through the application.
Is that go like that?
It goes like that. You
Okay.
could almost see.
I mean, because
it's not magic.
I was trying to come up with an objection, dude, but then I'm like, I don't want to give him one because I
It's in
just want to
flow.
buy.
It's in flow.
It's very fluid, dude.
It's in flow.
All right, so this is the thing. Like your process was very much in line with like an in-home process or even like a phone script process. Like I want everybody to realize that like the first thing you did was like you established credibility. For one, the manager position, it takes everybody else that's been normally calling it and it elevates you above that crowd.
Correct.
As a head above. And I remember, dude, like, you know, having this direct TV service that I got put in place. And I had all these people calling me trying to add additional services. And dude, I was like, this is annoying, man. And all of a sudden I got this call and it was probably just another sales guy that was just better at packaging. And he's like, I'm the manager. And dude, I listened to the guy and he was doing the same exact thing. And I added a package, bro.
Yep. There you go.
And it's just the way it works. Just that sometimes a title and saying like, listen, man, I understand you've got on these calls. That's why I'm giving you calls, but I've been reassigned to make sure this is taken care of. And now you've kind of broken down those walls, because most people don't want to deal with a pushy salesperson.
Correct.
So if you come across as if you're the person that's trying to satisfy and fulfill that irritation, because yes, they dealt with it. I'm coming in because the ball was dropped. I'm going to help take care of this, make sure you're good to go.
Exactly.
I'm the manager. And so the credibility's there. And then even like looking up on a state and governmental website, dude, like that sounds so official, right? It's an art, right? It's an art form where you're kind of getting them to see like, okay, this person's important, right?
Yep.
And then as you go through that, you go through the process of what the process looks like. And that way they know what to expect, right? And you're providing structure for the rest of that conversation.
Correct.
And then you go into the why, which is like the value proposition and who the beneficiary is going to be. You touch upon that. And when there's little things that you can celebrate that make them feel good, like good health, you take 2 seconds to celebrate it, right? And then you go right into, the close. And so the process is great. You
have to explain the process. A client who doesn't understand the process, their mind is not going to be sound, therefore not making a sound position. So let's address the elephant in the room. Let them know that it's going to be affordable. They're worried about how much it's going to be. So mention that as well. We're going to go shop all the programs for you. We're going to let you know how long this is going to be. What we're going to do after, we're going to submit an enrollment packet. That enrollment packet, especially for final expense and older clients, it's a good trigger word because they're used to like Medicare and things like that, open enrollment. So an enrollment packet gives unconscious familiarity to it, and I found out it worked. So
I love it, dude.
That assists.
So everything you're saying, it sounds to me like there's an intention behind it.
Always.
It's not done by accident. It's like, I know that if I say this is going to go and give me the desired outcome I'm looking for. And I think that's the goal, is making sure that every word you say matters.
Absolutely.
Everything you say matters, and there's something tied to that. And I felt that. That's why it was hard for me to want to just give an objection, because it was structured, man, and there was credibility and there was connection. I felt like you were servicing me. You're going above and beyond to service me, and it wasn't just like a science like this. It was an art. It was like you said, it was in that flow, and I think that's important. How do you think somebody really understands the art of selling? Like, how do they get it? How does it catch?
Well, first of all, repetition, of course. Just like anything, repetition. You really need to be doing this a lot, and then you really start to appreciate the art when you take the lid off. Like me, I told myself, I was in the auto industry at first. I told myself I got to be amazing at something, and I got to be really good at something. So I decided it's to sell. Right, so it's the self-development after hours, right? When you stop working, what are you doing? Are you continuing to better your craft? Are you reading? Are you on podcasts? Are you doing the extra stuff to go down the rabbit hole, take the onions off, because when the layers of the onions off? Because when you do that, that's when you start to open the doors, protecting more people, more income, and you suddenly start to get lucky, right? But it's not really lucky. It's you're doing more. You're nurturing yourself more. You're going above and beyond. Therefore, you get rewarded because of it. So I think it's when you can tap into that, which we all can, that becomes a beautiful thing. But I think it's when you get to that point.
I think you're 100% right, man. I love that. Very, very well said. And I think that's one of the secrets of selling, is understanding the art of it.
Correct.
And the best way you can understand the art of something is to be submerged in it, right? To start to understand the art behind it. And I think that's such a massive, massive deal that everybody on here could do that, man. You could submerge yourself into what we do and how we do it. Even the national conference that's coming up, that's such a great way to really get involved in an environment where you see so many different voices and different people articulating really the same kind of concepts, but maybe with different methods, that you start to see from all these different angles, and that repetition of message stated from different mouths. You're like, man, I feel like I got it. Because a lot of times, man, it's not taught, it's caught. And you catch it when you're in environments that are really in the submersion of people that have got it, right? That they've caught it. And now you just like, feel like I caught it, right? And it's such a big, big deal, dude. And even all the things that you say, like when you're talking about like the repetition and understanding the art, I'm thinking also about that text message you sent when you said you said I have 5 to 10 minutes now, or do you want me to schedule an appointment? It was something like that, right?
Assuming the close, yeah.
Yeah, and it was not like, is this important to you? It wasn't like, should we set up a time? It wasn't, do you want to move forward? It was, no, I'm assumptive that this is very important to you. I'm assumptive that you're very appreciative that I'm reaching out to you because I'm the manager and I could be doing many other things. And I'm assumptive that you're either going to want to do it now or that you're going to be very appreciative if I get you into an appointment because I don't have many appointments to fill and we've got a lot of clients to see. And that there is attractive.
Yep.
That's the art too. It's the attractive. It's a service that is conveyed within it. And that's one of the second secrets is like that sales is a service, right? Like you're servicing somebody, you're providing that to them. The third one that I think is a secret to selling is like that irresistible offer. Like, what do you think at the end when you're closing it, when they're moving forward through that process to get the policy? What's the irresistible offer now where they're like, I have to get this? Like, what's been conveyed throughout it where you can say in their mind they believe it's an irresistible offer because of this? What is that?
I absolutely believe that providing the value and letting them know what the product does is huge, right? So how, especially if we're always leading with a miracle. So when I tell them this coverage does go into effect right away, after that first premium is paid, it does go into effect. On top of that, it does have that living benefit to it, Mrs. Smith. God forbid any type of terminal illness like cancer, you're able to access thousands and thousands of dollars to go out of network, get a different type of treatment, go on a last vacation, etc. Does that make sense? Perfect. Also, if you pass away accidentally, that face amount is going to even double. You can say it's the Mercedes-Benz of insurance policies. So those 3-4 main points right there regarding that policy and the bells and whistles on it, being dramatic and saying it's the Rolls-Royce, the Mercedes-Benz of policies, right, really triggers some type of emotion and makes them feel good about it, right? There's strength behind that. So I think something in the talking about the product like that is going to be outstanding. And then many times when I'm on the phone and I'm closing a client, I'll give them how the budget range, like what I did to you, $59 to $69. Get them in an approximate range. Or another thing I've been touching up on lately after we get their budget, we have a $2 a day plan, a $3 a day plan, and a $4 a day plan. So no matter what their budget is, I have my calculator and I just divide by 30. So if they need to be at $72, okay, so we're going for the $2.10 day plan. Got it. So I think, all those unconscious, subconscious words and usage puts the client at ease as well. And it's okay to put the client at ease because we want them to make a decision.
Sure.
Because when they get off the phone and there's no coverage, it's nobody won.
Right.
Nobody won. And what we do, there's no negative to it. So always winning is great.
I love that, man. And I think that for a lot of final expense clients, man, like
exactly
that's speaking their language, right? And if you want to be effective, man, you got to speak the person's language.
Absolutely.
If we got
Adapt, like you said.
Well, dude, we got here and did this whole podcast in French, man. Like we wouldn't have been able to help a lot of people today, right? I don't know what our subscribers in France currently are, but I don't think it's very many, man.
Parlez-vous français?
Yeah, so well, maybe you probably could do it. Rob's always surprised me with some of the things that you know and do, man. But like you got to speak their language. You got to know your audience. You got to know who you're talking to and who you're communicating with, and you'll get that by being involved and running enough appointments. If you're brand new, and you're like, I don't really know that kind of clientele. Well, as you get exposed to it over and over again, you will. I mean, I don't know, Spanish, but dude, if I go to Mexico for the next year or two, like I'm gonna pick it up, or I'm an idiot. Because why would I not? Like I'm going around, my frustration of not, being able to communicate, it's gonna mess me up. And same thing, as you have no sales and you're figuring this thing out, that's gonna inspire you to learn more, to plug in more, to ask questions, to seek feedback, develop, grow, and get better. And it's a big deal. And I think the irresistible offer, guys, that you have that most people can't put on the table is that the fear of not getting this. You know what I mean? Like there a lot of times people try to use that, but it's like, is it really like that? If I delay getting the card, is it really that scary? They try to, the offer's gone, but the fear of like, you might not come home, because nobody knows that. Everybody knows that it's not promised, right? And if you don't come home, we know now by asking these questions, this is what your picture looks like. Yep. And so I think the thing that I did, Rob, that helped with the irresistible offer, with all the stuff you said, was going into the prices and really kind of saying, listen, so this one here is a 169, like you said, 200,000 in coverage. And if God forbid you didn't come home tomorrow, like you're driving on the road and somebody's texting and driving, and that's it. That's the last day.
Yeah.
You know that your spouse can wake up tomorrow knowing that they're going to be okay financially because this $250,000 will pay off the mortgage and leave X amount left over to cover expenses and put them in that best position possible, exactly like you want to have them be in, Rob. So now this one's 169, this one, and you kind of go into this imagery of this is your picture. Let me go back and highlight the picture as far as your income, what it looks like, and describing the death benefit and the benefits as if they could go into place tomorrow. And if you didn't have this, this is what it's going to look like, this picture here. So we want to prevent it. And I think that's what kind of helps with the urgency, the value, and the assumptiveness. Put that together, and it's like they can't help but want to move forward because the offer is irresistible.
Makes sense.
I love that, man. I mean, this has been so good, dude. You absolutely crushed it, bro. No, man. I'm good at bringing on good people like you, bro.
Appreciate it.
That's what I'm good at picking. I'll tell you guys this much. This I know was good for you. I don't even have to ask you. I know it was. Share this. And I know everybody by nature, they want to make a difference. I mean, we're called to go out and serve each other, help out, and especially when it comes to, working within your gift sets. You know what I mean? And so for anybody that's on here that's in this business and you got a team or you're looking to help somebody else out, share this because it's going to help them increase a skill set that's going to be very instrumental for them going out there and leveling up their financial situation, their business. So this was great. Like, subscribe, comment below also. If you got a suggestion like, hey, man, I got a couple more questions for Rob, like put them in the comment section. I'll shoot them to Rob. He'll get the answers over to you. Absolutely. You know what I mean? He'll shoot a video real quick. I'll send it to you. We want to make sure we can serve you. And also we've got the lead money that's getting ready to get picked, which is always an exciting thing. I love seeing the winners each and every week and what that does for their business and profitability and their ability to kind of get their footing when it comes to building it. So, guys, I hope you make it a massive week. It's up to you. Go create it. Be strong, stay steadfast, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
Hey, what's going on, guys? You know what time it is. It's time to give away $250 worth of lead credit to 4 lucky people. If you commented on last week's video, which is playing right over here, you're automatically entered to win $250 in lead credit. So leave a comment on this video right now so you're entered to win next Monday when we draw the names from this video. Without further ado, let's see who our first winner is. Joshua Medish. Perfect time of the year to build momentum for January 1st. Our second winner is Smart Money Women. Great idea to review the year and see where you did well and where you need to do better. Our third winner is Houston Shirley. So much knowledge. Thank you for all you do for us. And our fourth and final winner for this week is Heather Robeson. I love this. Thank you. My goal next year. Guys, it's that simple. Just leave a comment and you can win $250 in free leads. Winners, get in contact with Victoria. Her email is going to be right over here. And again, leave a comment and you can be a winner next week. Take care, guys. We'll see you next time.